What is up, guys? My name is Robin and welcome to the park on my channel Robzikojra. Now, I've been waiting to play this game specifically until we hit October 1st and we can go through Spooktober together on the run up to Halloween at the end of the month and play horror games all month, and it's going to be fabulous. Now, I've heard a lot about this game, so I kind of have an idea of what it's about. I am going to warn you though, I don't know if my laptop is going to be able to handle it because it looks quite graphic to me, just from looking at the home screen here. I've set everything so that it should work. We'll see how it goes. New game. The park is a narrative experience best played in a dark room wearing headphones. It deals with a subject matter that may be disturbing to some players. During the course of play, the park may manipulate graphics, audio control settings, and your sanity. This is perfectly normal and should not be cause of any alarm. Good to know. Good to know. Now, I know this is a theme park-based horror, which is one of my favourite types of horror, actually. I love going to, like, about an hour away from where I live, you've got Thorpe Park, and they do Fright Nights all the way through, October, a little bit before in September as well, I think, and a little bit into November they do Fright Nights, and they keep the park open late, and, all the staff dress in costumes, and you get special mazes that are only available over the Fright Night period, and it's super cool, actually. So it's going to be interesting to see how this kind of lives up to my actual real life experience in theme park horror environments. Because I'll tell you what they've got now. They've got
my heart and mind.
I'll tell you in a minute.
To Atlantic Island Park.
Where's Mr. Bear?
I haven't seen Mr. Bear, Callum.
This is very graphic.
Stay in the car. I'll go and ask information.
Oh, I hope my laptop can handle this. It's been a bit jittery. Anyway, yeah, they've got what's happening? Why can I no control anything? What's happening? Hold up. I loaded it up before and this bit worked. Because I checked it. I always check games to see if they're going to run and how well they run. So, there it is. I don't know what happened there. It just froze a little bit. Alright, where am I going? But yeah, Thorpe Park have got this Darren Brown horror train experience. I'm a big fan of Darren Brown. I love anything to do with magic. And the Darren Brown horror train is a VR ghost train experience. It's super cool. Interact with objects in the world. I'm trying to examine.
Callum was born the day this place opened. This is his favorite place in the world.
A tribute to the untamed heart of Solomon Island and the people who used their talents to bring the dream of Nathaniel Winter to life. This park may be a place where joy and laughter are gathered. May this place be there. I can read. May this place. I have dyslexia. It's not my fault. May this park be a place where joy and laughter are gathered and used to infect all those who follow after. I think that's supposed to sound uplifting. Sounds a little bit weird.
What?
Hello, lady. What's your problem?
Hey, Lorraine. Lorraine. Don't blame yourself, Lorraine. People lose things all the time. Take a deep breath. Think about the last place you saw your son's teddy bear.
I haven't said
Wait,
anything
stop.
to you about a teddy bear.
I think your boy just ran into the park. I'll unlock the gates for you.
I said nothing to you about a teddy bear, sir. Excuse me?
Callum, I told you to wait in the car.
Oh, is this
Come on,
gonna...
This way.
Wait for Mommy, Callum.
This way, Mommy.
Hang on. Is this gonna have, like, a Jason mechanic? Atlantic Island Park. Welcome to Atlantic Island Park. First constant... This is just a leaflet for it. Okay. Okie doke.
Wait for Mommy, Callum.
Jason! It's like heavy rain.
Callum, where are you going?
Catch me, Mommy.
There's something special about the entrance to an amusement park. A line drawn between the real world and the world of whimsy within. On this side, the apathy of our everyday lives. And on the other, anything we might dare to dream. It's no wonder Callum ran back inside. I wouldn't want to leave either.
Attention employees, the park is now closed. Have a safe journey home.
Oh. What's going on? Well, I already feel like I'm gonna have to get to the Ferris wheel over there. That's probably my main goal.
Oh God. The park. What happened here? Callum, come back here right now!
You can't catch me.
Callum!
Stop! Callum!
Why do I also feel like Callum is not actually there? What is this? I am here. Okay. I suppose I just run
Come
after
out,
Callum.
sweetie!
Over here.
Wait for Mommy!
This way.
Stop, Callum!
Over here.
Am I going into this big mouth of doom?
Where are you?
Over here.
Oh, this is spooky.
Too dark. I'm not going in there without a flashlight. Callum?
I don't blame
Stay
you.
where you are!
Come on, Mommy.
So I'm going up this way then?
Don't hide from me, Callum!
Theme parks are like legitimately terrifying at night. Like there's no denying that.
Where did you go?
Over here.
Over where? Who is this friendly face? Examine shoe. Where's the shoe to examine? There
I
it
think
is.
this belongs to Callum.
Okay. So we have a shoe. He's missing a shoe.
Chad the Chipmunk, huh? Just a drunk guy in a suit.
Yeah, sounds about right. Chad the Chipmunk welcomes you to Atlantic Island Park. Chad can be seen in the daily ice sculpture shows in the following locations: 11 a.m. Sideshow Alley, 1 p.m. The Octotron, and 3 p.m. park entrance. And someone has written on this plaque: Chad the Chipmunk, worst in class. Can't even seem to pass. Chad gets angry, likes to fight. Chad is beaten every night. Chad will have a dead-end job. Chad will die a useless slob. Nice people we got around this place. This is utterly delightful. Why is there breathing in
What's
my
this?
ear? Purchase the land on Solomon Island for a... purchase the land on Solomon Island for a pittance, I might add. Whatever old archive Henson did to the locals, just the mention of his name had the people slamming doors and locking shutters from the moment I arrived on the island. Lawyers have... my lawyer had arranged everything in advance, but the... I can't even read that. But something still had to come and deliver the keys to me personally. He took it upon himself to offer me another warning. I don't know what you're planning to do with this island, Mr. Winter, but the spill here is bitter. I can't read it. It's not clear enough. It's bitter, with a curse carried from the old country. Old man Henderson did terrible dark things. The land remembers, sir. I can't help. You can read that. It's handwritten, so I can't read it properly. It's not clear enough.
Callum! Where did you go? Come to mommy, Callum. Callum, stay where you are. Come out,
I can't
sweetie.
even see him.
Come on, Mommy.
Mommy needs to see you, Callum.
Am I supposed to
Callum?
get on this lovely
Where'd you
swan
go?
ride? Ride swan. Let's ride the swan. Let's go on a roller coaster ride.
Where are you? Hello? Mommy needs to see you, Callum. Callum, where did you go? Callum, where did you go?
Near a great forest, there lived a poor woodcutter, his wife and his 2 children. A boy named Hansel and a girl named Gretel. They were very poor and had very little to bite or sup.
I know the story of Hansel and Gretel.
What will become of us? The woodcutter asked his wife one night. I tell you what, husband, we will take the children into the thickest part of the forest tomorrow and abandon them there. No, my wife, I cannot do that, said the man. Then we will all 4 starve, you fool. Hansel and Gretel overheard their parents talking, and Gretel began to weep. Do not fret, Gretel, Hansel said. He crept out of the hut and gathered white stones from the ground to fill his pockets.
Okay. Why am I hearing this?
The next morning, the woodcutter leads the children into the forest. Before they leave, their mother gives them a slice of bread and warns them that they will get no more food that day. Clever Hansel leaves a trail of white stones behind them as they pass into the woods. When their father leaves them, the children wait a while, then follow the trail back to their parents' house. After receiving a thorough scolding from their parents for getting lost in the woods, the children are sent to bed without any supper. Hansel tried to sneak out and collect more white stones, but found that the door was locked. Tomorrow I will take them into the woods myself, the wife told the woodcutter.
What a bitch.
In the morning, their mother gave them a slice of bread and led them deep into the forest once again.
What is happening?
Hansel broke his bread into pieces and left a trail of breadcrumbs to lead them safely home. But hungry-eyed birds snatched up the breadcrumbs and his trail was destroyed. Abandoned by their parents and unable to find the trail home, the children wandered in the forest for 3 days.
Yeah, I know this story.
The children stumbled into a clearing with an exceedingly strange house. Its walls were made of gingerbread, and its windows were panes of clear sugar. Hansel, desperately hungry, ran forward and began to nibble on the walls.
I know this. I know this stuff.
Nibble, nibble, little mouse. Who is nibbling at my house? An old woman emerged from the house, sniffing the air and peering around with cloudy eyes. Oh, you dear children, who brought you here? Just come in and stay with me. No harm will come to you. But Hansel and Gretel stayed back, for the old woman reminded them of their cruel mother.
What a witch.
Come, children, don't be afraid. I have something for you. The old woman offered them 2 enormous lollipops. The children took them and began to eat. You see, nothing to fear here. Come inside, the old woman urged, and the children, still licking their sweets, followed. Once inside the house,
What's happening
the
here?
old woman changed. She stuffed Hansel into a cage and put Gretel to work, sweeping and cleaning her hut. Your brother will make a good mouthful, the old witch told Gretel. Once he is fattened up, I shall feast upon him.
I feel like this isn't a good story to have at a
Time
children's
passed,
theme
and
park.
poor Hansel refused to eat, fearing the day that the witch would eat him. The witch, for her part, grew impatient. Today I will cook and eat your brother, Gretel. Climb inside and light the oven. But Gretel pretended not to understand. I do not know how. Where is the opening? Fool, the old witch said. The opening is here. And she moved to show Gretel. Seizing her
That's over
courage,
here.
brave Gretel gave the witch a shove, and the old crone tumbled forward into the oven. Gretel slid a large iron bolt over the door to the oven. Gretel freed her brother Hansel, and together they lit a fire beneath the oven. And though she screamed and begged, the children sat by the oven until her screams had stilled, and the witch was cooked. And then, because even children can't survive on sweets, they divided up the body of the old witch and ate her.
Delightful story. Not sure if I'm keen on that being a thing in a theme park, though. For kids. It's a little bit messy. Hello, Swan Face. Was that something I was supposed to do? Because I'm right back here. I don't know if that was something that was necessary or not so much. Okay.
Stop hiding, Callum! Hansel and Gretel. I used to read it to Callum when the electricity was shut off. Those poor children. The whole world against them. The forest, the birds, the old witch, even their own parents. I used to imagine that Callum and I were the kids in that story. Not mother and son, but brother and sister, hand in hand against the unkind world. We were always hungry, looking for our own house made of candy, looking for the sweetness that could take the pain away. Hunger leads people to desperate, terrible places where the tree branches reach like claws.
Okay. Something's not right here. And I'm not just saying that because this is a make-believe horror game. But like, in
Stop! Callum!
game terms.
Another accident. This place.
Another accident. Teddy bear. Is that Callum's teddy bear? Despite the constant interruptions of work, Atlantic Island Park will be opening on time. The governor is booked to cut the ribbon, so the only real question is whether we will have any customers. I'm not truly worried. The customers will come out of a simple curiosity. I decided that was needed from the band writings of Archie Henderson. Archie Henderson. Four's astonishing. It's astonishing to think that a renaissance of positive, God, this is hard to read. Positive emotions can be used to fuel such a process. Henderson himself chose to use negative, and that caused some of the taint that still lingers in this place. I will not make his mistakes. Very soon I will know if this has been all for nothing. So something about positive and negative energy there. This is Callum's teddy bear. Can I please take the teddy bear and give it to Callum and then we can leave? Alright, apparently not. Like any good horror story. But like I was saying, something is not right as far as my character goes. I find it very coincidental that the story that we just heard was Hansel and Gretel, when she has been constantly reading Hansel and Gretel to Callum, her son.
Come back. Callum?
Have I gotta ride all these rides? I want to ride all the rides. I think I probably have to ride the rides. Callum!
Callum. Tell Mommy where you are. Callum! This old thing used to make the blood run to my head. Make me dizzy. The guy just snapped. Those poor kids.
Okay. We were waiting for our turn on the ride. Frank, me, and the boys. The fellow in the chipmunk suit is making an ice carving while people took photographs. Lawrence wanted to go over to him, but I've always been a bit wary of those suits. They give me the creeps. It's silly, I know. Anyway, the chipmunk man, he was carving and picking away at the ice, and at first we thought he was making some animal like a tiger or lion, but as more and more ice fell away, when you first looked, it was a human face smiling out the back of a block of ice. But the more you look at it, the more you saw there was something not quite right about the proportions, something unnatural that made your heart begin to beat just a little bit faster, like you were prey and that thing in the ice was a hunter. But then these teenagers walked up, and one of them made a face at the carving and said something rude to the guy in the chipmunk suit, and then he went berserk. For a few moments, it was chase. If you remember, it was chaos. Everybody was running away from the guy who had one of the teenagers on the ground, and he was stabbing with the ice pick, and blood was spraying, and the people were screaming, and Frank and I had the kids, and we were dragging them away as fast as we could. The last thing we saw before Frank dragged me away was that the eyeball of one of the poor kids had landed in the ice sculpture, making a horrible creature look more or less alive. Ah. So Chipmunk Man went crazy. How do I get on this ride? I suppose I have to go to this booth over here.
I can't get on while it's moving.
Okay. Okay. Then who's going to speed it back up? Who's in that booth? There's a people in that booth. Whoa, this is going fast. Who is that? Whoa, what are you? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Excuse me. I'd like to get off this now, because I don't know any other languages to say fuck that in. Who was in that booth? And who is big, tall, crazy dude with a hat and big finger hands? What the fuck is happening?
Treachery hides in
I'm gonna
thoughts.
leave you alone.
Treachery that lashes like a
There's
whip
nothing here, right?
and scars our
No one in
insides.
there.
The first time I saw Callum, my thoughts betrayed me. I looked down at this wrinkled, red, bawling thing and I thought, is that it? We build our world from expectations, and the world that I had built for Callum was no different. He was so real, so there, and so far from my expectations. And they shattered, and as they fell in pieces, that one treacherous thought became a new foundation. All of the love that we shared, all of the warmth and goodness that followed, built on a single, traitorous thought.
Did you do something to your son? Is that the deal here? Hello? Hello? Okay. I thought working in the park for a summer would be a lot of fun, but the end of the season here really drags. There aren't many tourists around, and most of the staff spend their day standing around gossiping, and most of that gossip is about Chad. I mean Steve. See, even I'm starting to call him Chad, and I went to school with the guy. It's that goddamn suit. In the beginning it was a laugh. Steve, the local lush as Chad, the chipmunk, child-friendly mascot at Atlanta Island Park. Lock up your daughters and all of that. But the more he wears the suit, the weirder Steve is getting. At first it was little things like refusing to change out of the suit, at work and taking it home with him every day. But then I saw him at Susie's diner still wearing it. It wasn't even a work day. Some of the staff complained discreetly to the park management about the smell, and I saw him walking and talking with Winter, the owner, one day. But nothing seems to have changed. The suit still smells like a carcass whenever Steve walks by, and apparently Steve picked up some new skills since the last time I saw him puking up in a gutter outside the school. It's not clear, outside the something station, because he sure as hell can carve a mean ice sculpture. Those shapes he makes in the ice, though, they give me the creeps. Steve came by the booth today, lucky me, and he'll just hang around for a while. I couldn't really tell because of the suit, but it seemed like he was just staring at me, eye fucking me, whatever he was doing. I asked him what he wanted, and he just stood there not saying anything. Eventually I called my supervisor, and when he came by, Steve wandered off. My supervisor told me to put everything in writing, so here it is. Also, I quit. I don't want to see that chipmunk suit ever again. Laura Henman. Excuse me? Who are you? Are you that Laura person that just wrote the note? I'm gonna walk away from you. Bye-bye! Bye-bye. So Chad went chipmunk crazy, basically. That's what happened, right? But why?
Constant crashes and 80s music. Guess it floats someone's boat.
Can I ride the Dodgems? I like Dodgems. Bumper cars, whatever you call them. That's me! That's interesting. Good one with the lights on. That's very interesting. So, to me, I'm going to stop right here quickly. To me, that looks like she was maybe going through some kind of electroshock therapy. So, is this whole thing in her imagination? Examine accident report. Brief description of the accident or incident. During the transport of the bumper cars into the arena, one of the strap attaching the load to the truck came untied, causing a cascade of bumper cars onto Francis, who was standing directing the driver. Whoever that was crashed by the weight of the cars. Francis was killed. Any injuries, symptoms of the see a doctor, yeah. Truck driver. Okay, so there was an accident with the bumper cars and it killed someone. People just seem to be dying. I can move, okay. Well, I say okay. This is not okay. I'm gonna go towards the light up here. Can't get out though. These bumper cars are blocking my path. Ah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so this, for me at the moment, this seems like this whole thing is in this woman's head, and she was going through some kind of electroshock therapy because she was traumatized after something happened to her son.
It's a matter of public record that I am a failure as a mother. Once, when Callum was very small, I left him asleep in the car while I ran an errand. Don't even remember what it was. When I came back, the sheriff was standing next to the car, watching my boy through the window. I didn't like what I saw in his eyes. Judgment. He wrote me the ticket without saying a word. Just the scratch of his pen on the notepad. When he gave it to me, our eyes met. I know what you're going through. My daughter, Helen, she just gets some help. Help was a bolt of lightning. Help was 1,000 volts surging through my veins. Help is agony. I'd rather die. I wanted to scream. I'd rather you pulled your gun and shot me. But instead my mouth said, yes, Sheriff.
Okay. So yeah, she was going through some kind of electroshock therapy. And I'm actually going to leave this episode right here with the creepy thing, because we're at the Ferris wheel now, and I thought this was going to be like our end goal, but apparently it's not, because we're only 45 minutes, give or take, into the game. I don't know how long this game is, so for all I know, this could be the end. I don't think it's like a full-length game, but I don't expect it to be over yet. So I hope you're enjoying this so far. This is interesting more than anything. I'm only at the beginning still, I feel like, so I know it's not scary, it's not scaring me just yet. It's kind of like setting up. It's very spooky and it's creepy, but I'm not shaking in my boots yet. But we'll see how well this goes in the next episode. So I hope you're enjoying it so far. If you've got any recommendations for games that you want me to play, horror games I should say, that you want me to play over the course of October, then let me know in the comments below. I will be playing Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location on day of release. I'm going to play it at midnight, and then there'll be a video on that day. So just under a week, guys, you've got to wait, and then Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location will be on the channel. In fact, it will be a week yesterday. Be a week yesterday. So that's going to be it for me for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Make sure you keep an eye out for the rest of the videos that are coming out on the channel this week. And until the next time you hear from me, guys, as always, stay classy, gamers.